Hey folks, welcome back to No Formal AI. This is Alex. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, the 680 some subscribers that you are. Today we're going to talk about Claude AI design, which is funny because Claude itself didn't know that design existed. Yeah, that's a funny thing. But one thing that we need to cover is that Claude Design is actually a new app that just came out from Anthropic. If you know about generative AI, you've been in the channel, you know we have three main players, right? So Microsoft, well, you can consider Microsoft a player too, because they partner with OpenAI. So you got Microsoft with Copilot, and they partner with OpenAI in the back end. You got OpenAI with ChatGPT. We have Gemini, right? Google Gemini and Google Flow, Google Veo. Lots of good videos here that you can check out in terms of how they work. Claude Design claims to do UX design. So pretty much the layout part, the design front, it can do wireframes and it can also do a full design. I'm going to show you a few of those things here because I find it very interesting. The whole premise of it is that anyone can start having a conversation with the chatbot and sort of design a website or design an app and provide the visual cues for it. Now, keep in mind, this is only the visual part of it, okay? Not the code, but there's a workflow for that. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of that and a little bit of this. I hope you're ready. Let's get into it. Of course, I gotta tell you that this video is sponsored by you because you're watching No Formal AI, and we just started a new video service here in Florida. Check me out. I'm walking around with my gimbal. I got some new equipment. Even this camera that I'm recording in is brand new. So make sure you check the links in the description. I have some details there on the products. But for now, let's talk about Claude Design. So this is what I find interesting here is that I have a free account right now. This is the free account. And notice that design is not available. Move this slightly over. This is my paid account. You see the sign there. But even when you ask Claude about design, it still does not know what design is or what the design app or feature or function is of itself. I think it's a weird thing that Anthropic did this and they haven't caught out to it yet. But anyhow, just wanted to let you know that. So no free account, you gotta pay to play, as we usually say here, right? So as we go here to on the left side panel, you'll have your chats, you have your search. There's another video that will be at the end of this video that goes through all the intro, or at least the first look that we had on Claude AI. I wasn't impressed the first time. I noticed that it had some cool stuff, but it wasn't really as good as ChatGPT at that time. It seems like people that like to write use it more. Let's go here to design. When you click on that, then you'll have this Claude Design by Anthropic Labs. And that's probably what it is, because these applications or these companies are now creating this, sister companies or sister branches that are called labs. Google has one as well, Google Labs. And so I wouldn't be surprised at that. The interesting thing that you notice here in the UI is two things, right? So you have the design system. That means it acts sort of like Canva. If you use the design tool Canva, very popular out there, canva.com, it has a design system, meaning that you can give it your fonts, your colors, all those things. So if you notice here, there's a design system. You can even throw a link to the repository, to the GitHub repository. Like I said, this doesn't do all the coding, but if you plug it in, then once you have this design, then you can turn that into code and it will reproduce the website for you. So in this case, let me show you the first sample that I have, which is just a very quick and dirty thing. I just wanted to know what was the hoopla, what was the whole thing that people were going about on design, because if you notice on YouTube, there are tons, and I mean tons of videos about this and people creating a lot of hype. So there are some cool things here. I will break those down. What you notice here is actually that I provided a course to Claude, and in that course, let me scroll all the way up here. In that course, goes to this link here. I provided the course and I said, hey, I need to create something similar to this. I didn't really do anything else. Trust me, it's the sin that we talk about all the time, right? That you don't want to be vague. You don't want to be vague. You want to be specific in those things. But basically, if you notice here, this is a articulate RISE module where you create training content, training simulations, and you can have people learn some cool stuff. All right, cool. So I wanted to say, hey, look, we're going to create something about forklift driving and forklift operations. So what was interesting is it provided this whole layout based on what it was, but it did walk me through some questions. So the one thing that Claude does well is that it asks questions, and then it helps you really dial in to what you need to do, because this is the biggest barrier in AI, is people not knowing how to ask or request details. And what comes out is experience and things like that. But if you notice here we have on the left side everything there. I got what I need. Let me plan this out. It puts out the project, the design system, the course shell, all that stuff. So this is what happened. And it gave me a course, a navigation UI, if you think of it, a user interface right here. And what I love about this is the tweaks. So the tweaks are basically the ability for you to switch between interactions and try different interactions without having to, make them from custom or whatnot. I think this is probably one of the biggest winners in the whole thing, because again, you are capable of testing or tweaking things real quick to see what the experience is, to feel that experience. And that is exactly what you want when you're doing any type of UX, UI, or even training courses, because the folks you're working with are going to have different thoughts and changing things every now and then. So one of the clever things that happen here is this interaction, right? So it's a forklift with the different levels. At first, when this came across, it was a mess. It was all over the place. I had to tell it, hey, no, put the cars away from the item, but make sure that the labels are there and the numbers correspond. What I'm interested in now is seeing, okay, so that's building a high fidelity product. In UX, that means something that is functional, that is functional and pretty much looks like pretty close to the end product. But let's do some kind of wireframe, and let's consider about building an app, right? So I'm going to call this my learning buddy, and we're going to go ahead and create that. So if you notice here, you have some context to add in. You can add code base, you can add screenshots, or dragging even a Figma file. Figma is one of the most popular, if not the app for UX designers to create these things manually, the UX, the wireframes, these mock-ups and things like that. And that's why it's an interesting thing that this app is coming around, this design thing, because it's going to present a challenge possibly to Figma. All right, so we start with a sketch. Let's see what happens here, right? So okay, so I'm just saying provide a wireframe of a Mac OS app that searches learning models. Okay, and we'll see what's going on. So now it's saying that it's looking at this mockup, and is going to then, again, it walks you through the process. This is the parts I really like about it, right? So it says here, hey, what kind of learning models are you talking about? And I did that on purpose because machine learning models are learning models. But in this case, we know that I'm talking about educational content, for example, right? So who is the primary user? Let's say educators, or no, you know what? Students searching for student material. And then you got all the little details here that perhaps you may have not thought about when you're setting up, and if you never develop an app, right? So that's what I'm saying about this type of interactions with AI. It helps you really get it. It helps you because if you don't know something, it will provide you this info, and then you can create interest, right? You can start searching stuff. So here we got, does it download install locally, starts a chat, try it in session. So let's say start a chat, try it session. What should the left icon rail represent? It's funny. So it looked at that rail on the left that I put down, and it's saying, okay, well, you know, I'm going to say library save models. Which screens should the wireframes cover, right? So we're going to do the empty search state, and then the filters open and the onboard first launch, right? So when you get into an app, it will actually walk you across the things. It only took about 7 minutes. So 7 to 8 minutes, and here are the results. So we have the search affordances that we gave it. Here we go. We have a top bar search. So if you've done AI before, or sorry, UX before, you will see this makes a lot of sense. So the hero search, that front page where you land and it's home, you have then this prominent hero section. And I mean, this is basically what we're talking about. So there is your sketch wireframe. Out of the sketch that I gave it, this is what it came up with. And we're going to switch the toggle now that we have here before. So this is the hi-fi toggle. Okay. So it's showing now more development where the screens are popping up and how they're showing up. We switch back on this. Seems to be the same thing in a darker color, but you have the lines and different shades that it provides. All right, my friends, so there you have it. We just covered Claude Design. Get into it, start playing with it. Let us know what results you're getting. You saw some of the things that I was able to do. I mean, replicating that fork left course that I created on Rise seemed okay. Obviously, you need way more detail. And if you saw that second example, there are some differences there on how it can actually work. So the more you know, obviously, right? So if you have done a little bit of websites before, or if you have done UX, because really this is what it's targeting, then you'll be able to provide some info. But let's say you do not know anything about these practices. Ideally, what you can do is start talking with a chatbot and kind of say, hey, as an expert in UX, what are some of the first 10 principles that we should cover in design? What are some of the things that need to be done? What are the greatest standards for UX? And that will help you learn as you are trying to experiment with these apps. All right, that's it for me. But you may want to check out these videos because they're pretty cool.